Last time out in Rise to Glory, we had reached in second place in the Jupiter Pro League to have officially qualified for the Champions League for the very first time in my career. Today, we take on our first opponents in the Champions League in the form of PSV Eindhoven. Can we do well today? Last season in the Eredivisie, PSV Eindhoven had themselves finished in second place, so they were not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination, and they could and probably will cause us problems. This is the season that we will have to try and overcome some of the biggest odds possible. If we do get past PSV, we have a draw against Red Bull Salzburg or Sparta Prague in the next round of the competition in the playoff to get ourselves a chance to qualify for the Champions League phase. But what have we done to try and strengthen our chances of going through to the next round and to try and win the League and Cup double? Well, let's go over the transfers and the results we've had since we last met. The first thing I should talk about is the permanent sign that we have officially made in Fredrik Nelson. He is with us permanently now. We signed him for 3.6 million after activating the clause in his loan from AC Milan. I'm expecting to make a profit from him. He's already worth between 11.5 to 14.5 million pounds and is considered a leading player for this division and could be a star centre-back in the future. He's only 22. He does have a release clause of 13 million, so I'm expecting to get that release clause hit at some point. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's a good move and it makes sense long term. But then I started to make moves in the transfer window. We have bought Nelson Di Bartolomeo from Rosario Central for 2.4 million because that was his release clause. He's considered inconsistent, yes, but he's got a professional personality and he is considered a good player for this division, but he's only 20. He has potential, in my mind, to become a superstar for this division, though whether or not he reached that potential, I don't know. He does not have a release clause though, so we don't have to worry about losing him on a small fee, and I could probably try and get another 10 million for him down the line if we were to sell him in the future. He can play both his left and right foot, and as far as I'm concerned, he was vital to what I was looking for. I needed a new midfielder who can play on both sides of the midfield to really strengthen the options I have. Ideally, he's my Mazzala on the left-hand side, which is why his strong left foot is so important, but if I needed him to, he could also play on the right as a box-to-box. It's the reason why we brought him in. But then perhaps we've made the biggest coup of the transfer window by signing Rasmus Rowe for £3.2 million from Silkeborg, and I think, quite frankly, this is my best signing I've ever done. The reason I knew about him was because of the fact he finished in 38th place in the Next Gen Award last year at the age of just 18, and the fact we've got him for just 3.2 million because he had a release clause is really promising. He's considered a good player for this division, he's consistent, and he can absolutely improve a lot. He does have a release clause of £19.25 million, but quite frankly, I would take that for him if I was able to get that kind of money. We'd like to make a lot of money at this club, and we need to make as much money as possible if we are to keep Standard Liège afloat and to win championships. For me, he represents the best value for money signing that we've made so far. At least a permanent one. I should talk about the fact that we have let Korkan Mashida leave on a free transfer. He's at 1-12 right now, and quite frankly, he's not good enough. So as far as I'm concerned, this is probably the best move we could have made for him, and he needs to leave to get first team football. He's getting first team football now, so good for him. But then we made a sell of Mavil Bukadi of 2.7 million to Osasuna. He has left us. I thought it was a good time to let him go. He asked about wanting to leave. I said he can go, and we've got a sell of £2.7 million. Admittedly, he's got release clause of 8 million, so if anyone decides to hit that in the future for a 31-year-old, then they're probably not very smart, but we can make a profit from this guy in the future if he was to be sold, potentially, and yeah, it just makes sense to let him go. He was on the older side, we have younger defenders coming in, he was going to be going down the pecking order a little bit, so I felt like it was a good move to make, I really did. But then we sold Miroslav Klesa for £3.1 million. A 31-year-old who's been here for a while. We signed him for £1.3 million before I arrived. He's not going to get any younger. We've got younger players coming through, so it made sense in my mind to sell him. And Burnley came in, asked for if they can buy him. I said yes, and the rest is history. He's done well to get the move, quite frankly. He is going to be a squad player for Burnley, but they're in the Premier League. So as far as I'm concerned, it makes sense in my mind to let him go. But then we perhaps got my best signing to date. Miguel Bejarano has been signed on a loan deal from Real Madrid for free. That's right, I'm paying none of his wages. And here's the kicker. He's still on a youth contract with them. And we can sign this guy at any point of his season, any point of the loan, for just £4 million. They can recall him, so there's that. We can't terminate his contract. But at the same time, if I wanted to sign him on £4 million in the future, I could. I asked the player and his agent if he would be interested in signing. He said he wouldn't be interested in a permanent deal, but as far as I'm concerned, this loan move could be great for my chances of convincing this guy to stay with us permanently. And yes, here we are. An opportunity to thrive, an opportunity to make another exciting young signing. And I think this guy's got the potential to be a superstar for us long term. And we made one more signing in the form of Vincent Manuba. He has signed for just £975,000. Another fullback signed for a low fee. And as far as I'm concerned, we've done a good deal here. Signed from Bayer Leverkusen, who signed from Bayern Munich, and they made a profit from him, but I expect to make a profit from this guy as well. He's only 22, he can get better, and we're expecting to become a leading player for his division in the future. He's got speed, he's got pace, he's got good attributes elsewhere, and yes, he's considered a good player for his division, but Philly Cruz is going to be fighting this guy for the opportunity to play in his position. So we got good depth in every area of the team. And I do not plan on making any more signings this window, despite the fact we're only at the 3rd of August. That being said, we've had 2 games since we last met. And the first of which was against Antwerp. And this was the game that told me my signings and my tactics are now starting to click. This is before we even have Manombu with us. And we beat Antwerp 4-0. So as far as I'm concerned, great performance. We didn't even have our best lineup. We didn't even have our best players. And yet we still destroyed Antwerp. So were we lucky that they were not clinical? Were we lucky that we were very clinical? Yes and no. But at the same time, if we're able to be this good away from home against Antwerp, then we've done a good job. And we've got a good team here. And in the only other game we've had since we last met, it was against Charleroi, and we beat them by 2-0. Another good performance, another impressive showing from our players, and Vincent Manambu playing this game and got an assist and the Player of the Match award. So, proving why my mindset of these are really good players is useful, and I've got the squad that I want now. I don't feel like I need to make any more changes, and that says a lot when we're only in July and early August time, that in my mind, we have already got the perfect squad together. Charleroi dispatched off easily, and we scored 6 goals with no reply in the first 2 matches. Just like last year when I first arrived at the club. So far though this year, top of the table with 2 wins out of 2. Club Brugge have already got points this year, which is much better than last year since they won their first 14 league games in a row. So Anderlecht are the closest rivals to us right now, and we're ahead of them on goal difference. We've yet to concede in the league. We've got 6 goals, so we're looking very strong right now. But today is our debut in the Champions League, and I hope we can do good things against PSV Eindhoven. Away from home in the Netherlands. I've never been to the Netherlands before in this save, and this will be an interesting little challenge to say the least. And this is going to be our lineup. Now, we've got some injuries I should talk about here. Illich is injured. He's out for 3 days. He can play, though I'm definitely going to have him on the bench. We got Durale, who's also injured. He's out for another day. Well, Ivanovic is also out for 2 more days. He's not fit. He's failed his fitness test, so he cannot be selected. So we are without our best left winger, but at the same time, that's fine. And we're also without one of the better right wingers, But we've also got our new signing in Bijurama. So, but we've also got our best new right winger in Miguel, who didn't have the best of ratings last time, it must be said, with a 6.6, but he won the penalty that got us the opening goal in the first place, so I'm looking past that. But this is our lineup for the first game in the Champions League. My first ever match in the Champions League. Popper, Manambu, Nissan, Wu, Taylor, Ubanski, Franciconi, Di Bartolomeo, Donham, Galidi, and Stambiersma. That's the starting lineup. We got Van Houten, Cometio, Matete Pepper, Belikrisha, Miguel, Dragus, Ohio, Cruiser, Bala de Silva, Ngoy, Cavo, and Ilic all on the bench. The fact we can have 12 players on the bench in the Champions League is kind of weird to me, but I'm not going to complain. So, let's see how we do against PSV Eindhoven in our first ever Champions League match. Given that we've dominated our first 2 league games, I'm hoping we have a good time in the PSV game. And I generally do not know what to expect here, but here we are with opportunity. Biasma with an opportunity to go for goal. Keeps on going, has a shot. Benitez was forcing to make a save, and should he have scored? The commentator said he should have done. But okay, he's Oscar Gil. Now, what can we do to get the ball back? Really well done, actually. Look at this. We're looking like a strong team. And we lose the ball, though. But Di Bartolomeo gets it back. Here's Zabalski. Franciconi now finds Donen. Out wide to Manambu. And I don't know what to think. I feel like we got a team that can cause some problems. But if we can win this game, that's an opportunity. But we lost the ball here. And it's now it's a 3-on-2 situation. And they are through. PSV have an opportunity and they put it over. So, probably should have been better. So, we've got a corner, done to take it. And if we get an opportunity, we could have done better. But Benitez has a good catch. We've been the better team in the stats right now with 8 shots to 1. So, it's not like we've had a bad performance. We just haven't seen any of the real highlights that we've created. Apart from maybe that one chance at the very beginning. But here's Lucas Perez now. Trying to play across to Simons, who's still at PSV in a save. But Nissan gets the ball back now, so Franciconi tries to find his team. It didn't quite work, but we get the ball back anyway. And Taylor now plays it across to Dunham, who's lost the ball. But that's a good tackle for Ubanski. So we're definitely pressing hard and trying to make sure that when we lose the ball, we get it back quickly. But here's Rue. So what can we do in this situation? Finds Taylor out wide, and he can play it across in the middle. He has done. Dunham has a go, and it's just wide of the post. An opportunity squandered. So that's a free kick to PSV. They're playing in the middle and they've had a chance from a set piece. They scored and Saidu just had a free header. We just didn't deal with it properly and they have the lead. We've been the better team in this match, but the 2 back defenders, just no one's challenging them. And the person that did get back, I think it was Rue, no one picked him up. And it's a shame that's the case, but what can you do? And they lead at half time when we've been the better team. So we need to come back from this and quickly, I think. So they've now got a throw. I've changed my mentality to cautious because they got the more possession. I thought, you know what? If they're going to go by that route, we'll just go for more. We'll let them have the ball and we hit them a counter kind of thing. That's my mindset of this anyway in this situation. But if we lose this game, I think we'll go to Europa League anyway, so it's fine. Like we go straight to the group stage or league phase of Europa League. So it's not like it's at the end of the world if we lose this match. But here's Simons. And we need to get something out of this. And Mao Tate Jr. has scored. That didn't go very well. We've literally gone 3 minutes in and gone 2-0 down. I cannot really accept that. That is terrible defending. And for whatever reason, it feels like that we've just weren't switched on. They've come out with confidence that they didn't have before. And it's in off the post. And Manambu's made a mistake. Okay, I need to get something out of this game. We cannot let this game become 2 or 3-0, 3 or 4-0 now. We need to get the next goal, or things are going to be very difficult in the next leg. And it looks like it's going to be difficult, but Popper denies kill, and that's not great. Okay, so Nissan on the ball now, and we need to get the next goal. And quickly, I've made my last changes I can make, and we just didn't do well with the pass at all. We're going back to balance, and this is not great. They are counting. Hit onto the counter, but good defending in there to make sure we didn't concede a third. But it's definitely a PSV. This is definitely a team I was expecting to struggle against, but we got a chance now from this throw. Here's Kafuro, just over. We having chances, we're just not creating good ones. And now they have a chance from the free kick. I think they've got the very extreme now, actually, look at this. But if they score for this really is over. And if they make it free, it's done. They just about miss. Okay. And we lose 2-0. So the 2 goals either side of the end of the first half has killed us. And we should have done better. We really should have done. It's just unfortunate we didn't take our chances. And we need to do better in the future for these situations. We really do. I'm not actually going to plan on making these transfers because I don't think I need to. I feel like we've got the perfect squad right now in the competitions. We've got enough players. We could bring 2 more players in for the first team in the league, but I don't plan on doing so because the Champions League registration is full. And I don't think I could justify putting it off, and I wouldn't be able to trust myself to actually do it. So we're not going to make any more transfers in my mind, but I am going to end this here regardless. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. Could I have done things differently? Perhaps, but we did our best and it just wasn't enough. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.